It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Won't you be my Valentine? See what I did there? I switched it up on you. You were thinking it was going to be something totally different. Welcome back to Bunch of Blinds of Blairsville, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are in front of our store, and today I'm going to take you guys on a little tour of our showroom, just me and you, because it's the middle of a work day. We got lots of stuff going on today, but I had a little bit of time that I wanted to spend with you guys. So if you were to walk into our showroom, now most of you know this that have been here, of course, you know what our showroom looks like, but for those of you that have never been here, this is what you'd see right now because it's Valentine's Day today. So we got all the nice Valentine's Day things up over there. And of course, we got our heart there. Isn't that so nice? So inviting. But if we start over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see lots of flowers and our roller shades just kind of hanging out here on either side of the door. But we're going to work our way over here. Now I've got a new mic and a gimbal today, so if I'm a little slow with the camera, it's just because I'm learning how this thing works and you guys get to be test subjects with me. So we have some motorized shades here, and see, there it goes. It's not one there we go. Okay, we got some motorized shades here that are working for us there. Both of these on this side are motorized. This is a solar motorized shade, and this is just light filtering down here on the bottom. And then we have an exterior up here at, whoops, I'm going the wrong way with this thing. There we go. An exterior up here at the top. We got a stainless steel chain on this, as all exteriors have if they're manual. And this is a 5% brown called macchiato. Reason you'll know that is because we have cards on all of these that show you exactly what you're looking at. It's very helpful. And these do have cassettes, which is this encasement up here on it, which is optional, as we've talked about in previous videos. But there's different types for interior, especially. There's different types of headrails that you can do, cassettes. You can do fabric wrapped cornice like this guy right here. This is a manual shade that you can just lift up and pull down. It's a new style of cordless that you're going to see on roller shades that's really fantastic because you can set it exactly where you want. Long gone are the days where you had the old vinyl shades that you had to like pull down and they'd shoot up and like spin around at the top. Long gone. This is the new era. And then right next to that on this big window here, we have our Lutron solar shade. You guys have seen this in a lot of videos, but just a push of a button and it comes down nice and quiet. You gotta love that. And look at the view that you get to keep out through this too. This is a 3% shade. Once I get the gimbal to work for me, there we go, 3% shade. And this is actually, believe it or not, this isn't black. This is called charcoal gray. So this material here has a weave of black and then a weave of gray in it as well. So if I come over here, you may be able to see it a little better. You can see that gray there and the interweaving. But the 3% is the one that I tend to recommend the most because it keeps out 97% of your direct rays of light, but you get a really beautiful view through this material. You can see so clearly. And as we always say, that's a big difference between a white material and a black, is that the white, or the lighter the color, the harder it's going to be to see through these solar shades, because as this comes up here, we're going to take a look at this. Lighter colors reflect the light, darker colors absorb the light, and you can see that right here. We have a charcoal or black, then we have a tan, then we have a white here, and this is going from a 10% at the bottom up to a 1% at the top. 1% is going to be keeping out 99% of the rays of light, and it's going to be really hard to see through that, where of course the 10%, it's almost like you might as well have nothing there because it's letting in quite a bit of light. Now let's go ahead and take a look over here at our, oh, there we go, thank you gimbal, at our shutters. Now these are all of our Norman shutters here. Nice display of these showing the wood, the composite, we have French door cutouts, all types of stuff there. We carry multiple manufacturers for the shutters, but this is one that we do a lot of business with, is Norman. Now here is my favorite part of the entire office. Right there. It's the couch and chairs. Super comfortable couch, super comfortable chairs. I nap here most days. In fact, if you come in any day, Monday through Friday, at some point throughout the day, I'll be zonked out. Not really, But Chris might. But Chris is missing right now anyway, so I can't even make fun of her because she's not here, and so that wouldn't be very nice. And it is Valentine's Day. All right, so over here we've got a series of Roman shades on the left-hand side, fabric Roman shades on the left-hand side. We have a smart drape here, which we're going to take a look at that in just a minute. And then we have two more Roman shades, but these are natural Roman shades, also called woven wood shades. Now, this smart drape, this is cool. So this is a vertical application. So you could put you could put it on a window, but this is really made especially for doors. Like if you have a big glass slider, you could come up to any portion of these vertical pieces here and walk right through it. These also come down and they're machine washable, and you can see through this obviously when it's open like this, but you can push it all to the side so you can get out of your door easily, and you can turn it again and you have full privacy. Boom, just like that. This does come in room darkening as well. It's not blackout, it's just room darkening because you're going to get a lot of light gaps with this, but it's a really cool product. So come on in and check that out. Now, behind here is Nick's office, but he's got a couple of nice shades here and a beautiful top treatment up there. This is another Lutron shade on the bottom here, and then this is a top-down, bottom-up cellular shade. So if I push a button, there it goes on the bottom. Look at that going. We readjust readjusted the gimbal a little bit too much. Easy on the gimbal there, Joey. Easy on the gimbal. And then even covering oh, there's Miss Chris. We found her. Even covering our little storage area here, we have another treatment style, which is going to be an averte. So this is a woven wood material that's used in a vertical application, as you can see, kind of reminiscent of drapery, but it slides back and forth really smoothly. We can do some big spaces with this as well, and we have another vertical application. We'll take a look at it on the other side here in a minute. Drapery rod. Got a lot of drapery options. We're going to be updating some of our draperies soon, but just know we do have a ton of drapery options. In fact, that wall behind me is filled with draperies, but the ones that we do the most, we carry with us in the vans. And we've talked about drapery, of course, because we've talked about everything, but we have a lot of drapery options, really pretty decorative drapery, a lot of stationary panel options, all types of stuff. Then we come back over to the midsection of the office, and we've got shades, blinds, and even a shutter. Now, this is a motorized shutter. The cool part about this guy here is that, yes, you can have them open and close with a remote, but you can also walk up and move it, and you're not going to hurt it. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. We have a lot of cellular shade options here, everything from our favorite, the motorized wand, to cordless and cord loop. We've got some top-down, bottom-up options here. Lots of stuff here. And then in the middle, we've got our sheer shades. So on this guy right here, this is a banded shade. You're going to see different manufacturers calling it different things, but it's the same style of shade. If it's a zebra shade, banded shade, sheer shade, could be either one of these, but it's referring to the same thing. This is nice because when it's all the way up, as I'm pulling it up right now, it's going to be totally out of the way, just like a regular roller shade. And then when it's down, you can get your privacy by having the bands cover each other, or you can slide it open and you can see through to the other side on those. Same deal here with this sheer shade on the bottom. Now, this one is neat because this is cordless, and you can kind of turn it, and I can't do it with one hand while I'm holding the camera. There we go. You can send it all the way up. You can bring it down and stop it, and you get your privacy that way. Or this little guy down here hinges, and if we move that forward, you can see you get your view out through that. And then we, of course, have 2-inch wood and faux wood blinds. These guys can be motorized as well. All blinds today are cordless lifts, so they push up and they pull down. We talked a lot about that since last year because that's when the law came into effect that we can't do pull cords anymore. And that changed a lot for the world of blinds. Then over here we've got our vertical application for a cellular shade called a Verticell. Isn't that clever? So this guy here is going to have magnet strips in the middle, and it's magnetized so that when it closes, it actually has a really tight closure. And just like with any cellular shade, you do have an insulation value with this. So that's going to help keep that hot and cold air from transferring through the glass that much, and really creates a nice solid barrier there with a cellular shade just to help to keep a little bit more of that cold out. Usually it's around an R4 value on newer windows that you're going to get with a cellular shade, which is very nice. Now I'm going to show you guys a couple of the types that, or at least one that we don't talk about all that much in just a second. But first, this is my office here. We've got a nice blackout roller shade. So on a blackout, you're still going to get light gaps around the edges of any shade, but especially roller shade, but nothing through the material itself. Darkens the room a lot. And one important thing to point out with anything that's blackout, I'm going to take you to this shade over here so we can see it a little better, is that if I look directly at this shade here, if I'm in a dark room, this is going to have a lot of light that pours around it, especially because we don't have a treatment on the top here, any type of cassette or anything. But if I look directly at this material, I'm going to see a lot of light that's pouring around it in the room. But if I were to look throughout the rest of the room, I would see that not a lot of light is coming into the room. You notice the light gaps when all of this is covered and it's dark, but throughout the rest of the room, it is doing a really fantastic job. But roller shades do let in quite a bit of light around the sides. Now, the one that I'm going to show you is in here with Miss Katie, who hates being on camera, so I can't show you any more than I've already showed you. I've shown you too much as it is. But this is a smart shade. Let me get my gimbal to work. Come on there, gimbal. There we go. I'm going to start calling him Gimbal. So if I say gimbal, that's who I'm talking about, is my gimbal. Anyways, this is called a smart shade here. So this guy lifts up and you get full closure on there. This is light filtering, obviously, but you get full privacy, or you can pull it all the way up, bring it down from the top, however you want to do it. And what's nice is that you don't have to worry about raising and lowering this thing like a typical cordless shade, because this does have cords here that you can see that are running on the inside of this frame. Now, this frame, if we really wanted to make a room as dark as possible, we could take a frame like this, and it has a little piece on the side. We'll show you that when we're actually at your house. Don't worry about that right now. And then you could put it on something like this window here, especially on the doing an outside mount on the trim, and when that's closed, because we have another frame going around it, that's really going to create a dark environment. So these are great for that. So check out those smart shades by Katie. If you want to see her, you actually have to come into the office and see her. And since it's Valentine's Day, bring her something sweet. Actually, bring Miss Chris something sweet too while you're at it. Maybe wait till Monday. It's going to be much easier for you to come in and see everything because you won't have to bring as much stuff then. Anyways, guys, that is the basic tour of what we have here in the showroom. There's some other stuff that I didn't show you, and of course, we have books galore. We've got all types of stuff down here that are in our vans when we come out to you, so you don't have to come in here. But if you did want to come in here, peruse, and just see some of the different colors and different options, you have that available to you. So please feel free to do that. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Hope you have some really special plans, and let us know what they are in the comments below. In your plans, are you going to give somebody a gift card to get some blinds, shades, some shutters? That would be a really nice gift for you. Take them out to Mike's Seafood. It's right across the street from us. We're in the same big white building as Monty Alvin and Subway. So you have your choice of 3 different places that you could go before you head in here to get that gift card. Or just outright tell somebody, hey, we're going to get some new blinds, and I want you to come in and pick them out, and then we're going to come out and do a free in-home consultation, have some awesome warranties, all that type of stuff for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and we will catch you next week.